Dustin, now is the time.
Everyone loves a sleeper.
/ undervalued. Key here.
That is key.
Undervalued. We understand that these guys are going to be drafted. If you want to see guys that are going to go with your last couple picks, check out our deep sleepers. These are guys that based on their ADP, we think they should be going a little bit higher, or we rank them higher. And we're doing this very early, so sometimes it's, people might start agreeing with us, they might get drafted higher, so their ADP will change a little bit. But either way, these are guys for you to note and keep an eye on and probably draft, because where they're getting drafted, it's a value.
And sometimes it's just like one round of value, but that can make a big difference.
It's huge.
On draft day. So before we get into it, thank you to our sponsor, fanfootball.ninja. Check them out. They've been adding some more cool features on their dashboard, their game center, where you can see all the stuff that's happening on your leagues across platforms with CBS and NFL and ESPN and all that good stuff. You can see your standings, your matchups, who's available. It just really helps when you have multiple leagues and different platforms, which everyone knows can be a big pain in the butt to jump back and forth.
Emmanuel Sanders is going to pick 87. And I get it. He did not have that good of a year last year.
No, he didn't.
It was ugly. But he did not have that good of a quarterback last year.
No, he didn't.
It was ugly. He's now got Case Keenum, who I actually think is pretty good. And does Sanders and Adam Thielen kind of remind you of each other, like the potential a little bit to me? 2016, Sanders, almost 80 catches, over 1,000 yards, 5 TDs. I think with a capable quarterback, he could come back to those numbers again for this year.
George Kittle is my first guy. This is a fun second-year tight end. And in terms of rookie tight end numbers, they were pretty good. 43 catches, over 500 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jimmy G's out there now. That offense, you got to think, is going to be better overall when you look at how they're going to do for the whole season. Right now his ADP is over 120 as the 12th tight end. We have him just at the end of being a tight end 1 for us. So we think he's getting a little bit disrespected just in terms of, at that point in the draft, take the young with upside, get some George Kittle. If you miss out on the top name guys, we think he's a great guy to grab as a low-end tight end 1.
We do an auction draft every year. I look for my dollar tight ends like Evan Ingram. I did with Ebron. It didn't work so well his rookie year. There's my dollar tight end.
If you can get him. I think he's gonna go. I'll take him to 2 at least.
I'll get him for 3 because I'll open it 3 because you won't. I digress. Auction drafts are so fun. You got to do auctions.
They are fun.
Golden Tate's the next guy I'm talking about. He's going at 53. The reason I want to talk about him, in some of my mocks, I've seen Marvin Jones go over him. We just personally like Tate more than Jones, so that's really why he's on this list and one main reason. And again, the reason we like him, he's kind of boring, but you know what's not boring is winning. And this is a guy that's going to get 120 targets. He's going to catch like 80 balls. If you saw the receiver show, he did the same thing. Maybe about 1,000 yards and a handful of touchdowns. That's what you get, but he keeps slipping in drafts, some of the mocks that I do, because, he's not too exciting. But winning and consistency is exciting. And forget about the start of 2016. It's a long time ago. I know he had a bad stretch 2 years ago. He's over that.
Got another 49er for you, which is weird to say. Marquise Goodwin, wide receiver out there, going right around pick 100 as the 41st wide receiver. He's got the potential to be a wide receiver too. I mean, he really poured it on once Jimmy G went out there. And again, that offense is headed in the right direction. I think he could be a target monster. I'm not really expecting huge touchdown totals from him, but I think he could be very consistently involved and give you kind of Golden Tate type numbers. And for where he's getting drafted, I don't know why people aren't. People are so excited about Jimmy. But then
there's some hype on Garcon out there, but
there's some Garcon hype, but there needs to be more hype around who he's throwing it to as well. I mean, if we're saying he's a QB1, then we need to say who he's throwing the ball needs to be higher than the 41st wide receiver. So a little bit disrespect there.
Ridiculous. All right, guys, for the Washington Redskins, going pick 44 currently. This has been trending up and up and up, or down or down and down, or whatever. He's getting drafted earlier and earlier and earlier. So by the time your draft happens, if you're drafting now, make sure that you're grabbing on that ADP. I think as we get closer, that number is going to keep going up. I think he'll have a solid training camp. We're in the DC area. We've heard nothing but great things about him. I think he'll have a good preseason. And everyone said the talent's there. When he got drafted 59th overall by the Redskins, and I'm not a Redskins fan, so don't think this is hometown stuff. That's the reason I like them. By the way, how could you, I mean, Danny Boy with the owner, how could you even like them? But either way, the thing about Geis is everybody said he was the second best talent behind Barkley, but there was all this weird stuff going on with him. Seems that weird stuff has been debunked to a degree, and even if it is, who cares? The guy can straight up ball, run the football. Geis is going to be sick. He should be the second rookie running back off the board.
Jarvis Landry is next, currently going around pick 50 as the 25th wide receiver. And I think people are really giving him the Cleveland downgrade by putting him there. And I get it. I mean, Cleveland's been awful for so many years. But that offense is headed in the right direction. It can't get much worse. But Landry, I feel, is like the perfect kind of guy to actually do well in an offense like that, just as being a possession type guy. You know, he might not be catching that many, 50, 60-yard touchdowns, but he's going to be catching those 10-yard, short little routes, and he's going to get his targets no matter where he is. And again, I think Cleveland will be better this year. They have a lot of talent at running back. I think they have a chance at having somewhat of a balanced offense, and I think Landry, you shouldn't be bumping him down as far as they are in terms of his ADP. I think you should be going at least a full round earlier than that.
Nelson Aguilar is the next gentleman I'll be speaking about at pick 112. The thing that we like about Aguilar is, I actually really liked him coming into last year too, but he's gotten a little bit better every single year. We like to see that. He's in his fourth year, which everyone you say the third year breakout, I think the fourth year is actually a big stepping stone as well. And I like players on solid offenses. And Philly is going to be a rock solid offense again. I know they won the Super Bowl. Congratulations. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we're the best. Eagles rule. How are you going to have a chip on your shoulder now, Eagles fans? I digress. So he's on a great offense. It's going to be a great offense. The thing that I like is the consistency there, other than the quarterback to a degree, but Wentz is a beast. But it's still Aguilar, Jeffrey, and Ertz, and Ajayi's still there. He's going to be great. He's going to improve on his 770 yards, 8 touchdowns. I could think double-digit touchdowns, very realistic for a guy going to pick 112 is nuts.
Sony Michel is next, going around pick 60, which isn't that late. That seems like kind of a high price tag for a rookie running back on New England. Lots of uncertainty. Who's going to get the touches? So we're saying he should go even earlier than that because he's on this list. But it's just because of the potential. It's
what it could be.
What it could be. I mean, I'd say it's the odds are against you that he's going to blow up. But if he does,
30% chance.
He could be an RB1 just because of the yards that there are to go around, the touchdowns there are to go around. If he's getting 15 plus touches on that offense and he's holding on to the ball, not fumbling, getting some goal lines, even though I don't think he'll get all the goal lines, he could be an RB1. And that's the upside there. That's the gamble. And they took him in the first round in the NFL draft. You got to think they're going to want to put him out there, see what he can do. And if he plays well, he could definitely give you good value at that point in the draft.
Got another rookie running back for you. That's Chubb at the Cleveland Browns, going around pick 111. The reason he's going so late and he doesn't have the same hype as some of these other rookies, he's like the last known rookie that's going. The reason that is Carlos Hyde, Duke Johnson, Cleveland Browns. So he's got two guys he's battling with, and he's on the Browns, and everybody hates the Browns. But is he fun to get? Absolutely. And I've heard some people be like, he wasn't even that good at Georgia. He was the 39th all-time rusher in college football, second all-time in school history. The guy is clearly good. So don't be like, oh, he's garbage anyway. And Carlos Hyde, I mean, they're like getting drafted really close to each other. I'd rather have Chubb. I'd rather have the upside. And let's be honest, they're going to be terrible. So the second half of the season, when it really counts, you're going to want the young guy that they're going to be, seeing how he does compared to Hyde.
If Chubb went to the Patriots, he'd be right up there with Geis.
Yeah.
But so that's we like Chubb. We just don't like his situation. But if he ends up being the one that gets through and is the guy.
But again, you're going 111. I'm picking him a little higher than 111.
Yeah, it's an easy gamble.
No.
Robert Woods is the next guy, going around pick 80 as the 30th wide receiver. Everyone, I think, when you look at how he ended last year and how he was trending, I think where people had him, and then, Cooks comes over, and it's like, oh, move Woods way down. Cooks is in town. He's the man. But we're saying not so fast. We actually we have Woods ranked higher than Cooks just because we think Woods will be more consistent, and we think that he's the
number one.
He's the number one, we feel. We think he's gonna get more targets, more catches. You know, he's not gonna have as many big plays, but we just think he's gonna be the more dependable, solid wide receiver. We think 80th pick is too late for Robert Woods.
A little more consistent. I like consistent players. I like the Tates of the world. I like the Woods of the world. That's what I want.
So again, these aren't all your prototypical sleepers. We're just saying they're a little undervalued. They're going a little later than they should. So keep that in mind. Post some comments if you got any. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a subscribe.
Browns fans, two of your guys on here. You definitely.
And 49.
All 6 of you should give us a thumbs up.
And get our cheat sheet, our draft guide. It's on the website.